Do you want to know how to make money in crypto in 2025? What one of the big money-making narratives could be? Well, this could be the biggest trade that could come from a one-time only event. Altcoin ETFs, particularly for the four horsemen. 2025 could be the year that crypto altcoins go absolutely mainstream if, or probably more likely when, these ETFs get approved for US markets. If you thought Bitcoin ETFs shook things up in 2024, altcoin ETFs could do even more for the market in 2025, especially for your other altcoin bags. Picture this, billions of dollars flowing to the top altcoins will send their prices skyrocketing, which will create wealth on chain, which will percolate down to everything else and send the other coins to the moon. So in this video, I'm diving into which altcoins are likely to get an ETF first, what kind of ETF inflows we could see, and why ETF approvals might trigger an altcoin season like we've never seen before. Don't give up, guys. Stay locked in. It's coming. Now, for altcoin ETFs to be the biggest crypto trade of 2025, we're going to need a serious shift in the way the world sees altcoins. The altcoin narrative will need to shift from the super mega speculative, crazy, unregulated casino shit to legitimate, accessible investments for real technology coins. The stage is set for a crypto-friendly president to bring in crypto-friendly policies. There's growing institutional interest. We have new SEC, CFTC, Treasury, all pro-crypto people. 2025 could be the year the altcoin ETFs finally get approved. In fact, it could happen in the next couple of months. And love them or hate them, ETFs are the key to unlocking new demand in the cryptocurrency market. In traditional finance, ETFs are a huge deal, and Bitcoin's seen $40 billion of inflows. Ethereum, much less, but billions regardless. And ETFs have been around for years. They made investing much more accessible for everyday investors who don't want to go and get a Coinbase account. They don't want to get a, I'm a ledger, I'm a nerd. No, they just want to go to their interactive broker's account and buy some ETFs. Crypto ETFs offer the same simplicity. Instead of figuring out what exchange to use, self-custody, writing down your phrase like a nerd, you can just buy into a fund that handles everything else for you. Buy, sell whenever you want, boom, easy. From your brokerage account. No more having to worry about losing your private keys or any of that kind of stuff. Now, top contenders for altcoin ETFs. We call them the four horsemen. Solana, XRP, Litecoin, Dogecoin. Momentum is building with multiple asset managers already filing ETF applications with the SEC for approval. The SEC acknowledging these applications. Conversations are taking place already. So why these altcoins? Well, Solana, of course, has shaken off some of its past issues, got some new issues. It's had a big explosion of growth due to its speed, its low fees, the size of the growing developer community. It's now seriously competing with Ethereum on most metrics. And yeah, there's been some recent bullshit on chain, but that's just happens. It's almost a symptom of success. A Solana ETF could attract new investors, high growth investors looking for an alternative to Ethereum. And Solana isn't. It's undervalued by comparison. Right now, Bloomberg analysts James Seifert and Eric Balkunas are giving a Solana ETF approval about 70% odds. Poly market, a betting market, futures betting market, is much more optimistic with an over 80% chance of getting an approval for Solana ETF in 2025. Next up, we have XRP, which has had its fair share of controversy over the years, but its utility for global remittances is gaining interest. In fact, we just had a big Brazilian bank announce a stablecoin for it the other day. Ripple aims to make XRP the low-cost alternative to SWIFT, the global messaging system currently used by 11,000 financial institutions over 200 countries. Big task to take on. An XRP ETF, which, by the way, we just got one in Brazil the other day, first XRP ETF in the world, but an XRP ETF in US markets could attract big institutional money that sees XRP as the future of cross-border payments and wants exposure to that narrative. But an XRP ETF currently has the lowest odds of the four, coming in at just 65%, potentially due to the unfinished nature of the SEC litigation against it. Number 3 is Litecoin. It's, Bitcoin Lite with cheaper fees, bigger supply of coins. If Litecoin gets an ETF, expect big interest from those who want Bitcoin-like exposure, but for a fraction of the market cap. Bloomberg is currently giving Litecoin ETF a 90% chance of approval in 2025, which is really big. And then, of course, we have the Dogecoin wildcard. It's the OG meme coin that could be destined to legitimize the whole meme coin space, shifting the perception from being just a joke to a more serious investment. And look, Dogecoin's got its own blockchain stuff. It's way better than any other meme coin that's been launched in the past years. A Dogecoin ETF currently has a 75% chance of getting approved, so not too bad. So what kind of ETF inflows are we talking about here? Well, before we dive into that, a quick word from today's sponsor, iTrust. Now, if you want a way to save big time on your taxes when it comes to crypto, you might want to hear what iTrust has to offer for you. And if you've been in the crypto game for a while, you know how much taxes suck. Every time you move, you feel like you're getting taxed. Well, if you wrap your crypto trading in your retirement account via iTrust, you can trade crypto all you want. All the top coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, 1,000 trades, no taxable events. They're open 24/7, 365, unlike ETF products, by the way. Cheap fees. They're also the biggest IRA provider in the cryptocurrency space. And you can even do in-kind withdrawals, which means that you can take the coins, put them in your pocket in the future. And also, they even have a partnership with Kitco, allowing you to buy real gold and silver. Physical stuff, not paper bullshit, real deal gold, metal in your hand, which is pretty damn cool. If you want to learn more about what iTrust is doing, if their solutions are right for you, there's a link down below. You also get a $100 bonus when starting your account, so go check it out. Thank you for supporting our sponsors. Okay, so inflows. Look, Bitcoin ETFs currently hold over $100 billion in Bitcoin. The Ethereum ETFs, a much smaller amount, around $9 billion in Ethereum, around 10% of the Bitcoin ETF total. We can expect, therefore, each altcoin ETF to probably attract smaller inflows than Ethereum, unless Wall Street ends up being just mega super bullish on Solana, but collectively the impact would still be significant because the market caps of all these things are much smaller. Ethereum's got $300 billion market cap, Solana's $80 billion right now. Now, JP Morgan predicts that a batch of altcoin ETFs could attract inflows as much as $14 billion in the first 6 to 12 months, which is massive. What's surprising is that JP Morgan's predicting Solana could bring in between 3 to 6 billion, well, XRP could bring in around 4 to 8 billion in inflows. They didn't have an opinion on Litecoin or Dogecoin. Now, what impact could that have on prices? Because that's what you're here for, right? Let's do the money talk. Even with smaller inflows compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, the price impact could be absolutely massive. For example, if we see $3 to $6 billion of spot bid flowing into Solana ETFs, that would represent a market cap increase of around 3.7 to 7.4% of its total market cap at current prices. Well, it doesn't sound like a lot when you take into account, of course, that there's a multiplier at work here, okay? So Solana's price, if you see 3 to 5% of the supply being bought up by ETFs, would jump dramatically in that situation. How much Solana is staked, how much is being used in DeFi, all that kind of stuff. That's because a $1 billion investment into a cryptocurrency does not mean the market cap moves up by $1 billion. It doesn't work like that. Surprisingly, the market cap can actually increase by much more than the inflows when there is more buying demand than selling demand. Okay, that's why VanEck has a price target of $520 for Solana this year, marking roughly a 200% gain from current prices. Now, when you compare that to the average 7 to 10% stock market return, it's pretty good, right? Especially if you're actually on chain before these ETFs come out. You can then stake your Solana, get your 10% return plus that later on. It's all pretty good. When it comes to XRP, inflows of $4 to $8 billion represent around 2.8 to 5% of the market cap. But again, when you consider the multiplier effect, the bull market FOMO, VanEck believes that XRP could actually reach $25, but by 2050, that's kind of a long way away. But I think $10 this bull market cycle, if Bitcoin goes to 250K, is not off the table. Okay, and an ETF could actually take it there much quicker. Irrational FOMO at the top, right? Now, here's where it gets really exciting for cryptocurrency investors. Altcoin ETFs don't just represent money flowing into individual coins. They could actually set off a broader market rally. And by the way, if you see those kind of numbers, Litecoin right now has got a $10 billion market cap. What happens if they buy $1 billion worth of it? Crazy stuff. By the way, remember back when the market rallied during the Bitcoin ETF hype? When Bitcoin ETFs launched, we saw Ethereum almost double in price within 2 months. Solana saw a similar jump of 130%. Now, imagine what could happen if multiple altcoin ETFs get approved. We get the $14 billion of inflows to Solana and XRP. We get another $5 billion into Dogecoin and Litecoin. The speculation alone could drive massive price action, and when those coins explode, money floods into other places. This could be the catalyst for the next altcoin season, which could send the market to its cycle peak later this year. And by the way, there's about 10 more altcoin ETF applications for stuff like Cardano and Polkadot. And those will be the next speculations of getting approved, and those prices will pump. Altcoins will receive mainstream attention, mainstream recognition through ETFs. FOMO will be inevitable. And the FOMO is a powerful force, pulling in retail and institutional investors, dumping billions of dollars into these coins. And if 2025 turns out to be the year of altcoin ETFs, then we could be on the brink of the biggest shift, the biggest trade that crypto's ever seen. And ironically, you need to be exposed to these big market cap dino coins. I know it's hard to imagine right now when the sentiment has basically been worse than when the Luna collapse or the FTX collapse happened recently. It's been bad recently, but you might want to position your portfolio now to take advantage of this upcoming narrative if you think that the thesis is valid, obviously, right? It's the kind of narrative that only comes around one time, a once in a market event for these coins. So be ready. Thanks for watching.